Before there was Earth, before there was a sun, before there was even light, there was the event that started it all. 13.8 billion years ago, the entirety of our reality, every galaxy, every star, every atom that currently makes up your body was compressed into a single point of infinite density and heat, a singularity. Then, in a fraction of a second, the universe didn't just explode into space. Space itself exploded into existence. This was the Big Bang. In those first few moments, the universe was not the cold, dark void we see today. It was a screaming sea of superheated plasma, trillions of degrees hot. It was so energetic that the fundamental forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, the nuclear forces were fused together. For hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was a blinding fog. It was too hot for electrons to trap protons. Atoms could not form. Light could not travel. If you had been there, you wouldn't just burn. You would be instantly vaporized into subatomic particles. It took 380,000 years for the fires to cool down enough for the first atoms of hydrogen to form. At that moment, the fog cleared. The universe became transparent, releasing the first flash of light that still washes over us today as the cosmic microwave background. But even then, there were no planets. There were no rocks. There was no oxygen to breathe or water to drink. The universe was filled only with simple hydrogen and helium. The ingredients for euthycarbon in your cells, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones did not exist yet. To create the solid ground you stand on, the universe had to build a factory. Gravity began to pull pockets of hydrogen gas together, squeezing them tighter and tighter until the pressure ignited nuclear fusion. The first stars were born. These were not like our sun. They were monsters, hundreds of times more massive, burning blue and hot. Inside their cores, they acted as alchemists, crushing hydrogen into heavier elements. When these massive stars died, they didn't just fade away, they exploded as supernovas. These explosions were the forges that created the heavy metals of the universe. They blasted gold, silver, silicon, and oxygen out into the void. This cycle happened over and over again, for billions of years, enriching the galaxy with the dust of dead stars. 9 billion years after the Big Bang, in a nondescript spiral arm of the Milky Way, one of these enriched clouds of gas and dust began to collapse. This was the birth of our solar system. As the cloud collapsed, it began to spin, flattening into a disk. In the center, gravity pulled the vast majority of the material together to ignite a new star. Our sun, the leftover dust and gas in the disk began to clump together. But there was a rule governing this construction site, a boundary known as the frost line. Close to the infant sun, it was too hot for water and methane to freeze. They remained as gas and were blown away by the solar wind. Only rock and metal could survive the heat. That is why the inner planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are small, rocky worlds. Further out, beyond the frost line, it was cold enough for ice to form. This allowed massive planets to grow, capturing huge atmospheres of gas. This is why we have the giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But the early Earth was not a paradise. It was a magma ocean, bombarded by asteroids. And then, something cataclysmic happened. A planet the size of Mars, which we call Theia, smashed into the young Earth. The collision was so violent, it nearly destroyed our world. It turned the surface into molten slag and blasted trillions of tons of debris into orbit. Over time, that debris coalesced to form a silent, silver companion, the Moon. Today, things seem calm. The planets move like clockwork. But there is a massive misconception about who is really in charge of this system. You have probably heard of astrology, the belief that the positions of planets like Mars, Saturn, or Jupiter at the moment of your birth determine your personality or your future. From a physics perspective, this is completely bogus. Let's look at the numbers. The structure of our solar system is a dictatorship, not a democracy. The Sun contains 99.86% of the total mass of the entire solar system. Think about that. If you took everything in the solar system, all the planets, all the moons, all the asteroids, all the comet sand, put them on a scale, they would account for less than 0.2% of the total. The Sun is the other 99.8%. Gravity depends on mass and distance. While Jupiter is massive, it is 500 million miles away. The sun is massive enough to hold the entire system together. But even the sun's gravitational influence on your body is imperceptible compared to the gravity of the earth beneath your feet. Here is a fact that breaks the illusion of astrology. The gravitational pull of the obstetrician standing next to you when you were born was stronger than the gravitational pull of Mars. The tidal force of a building you walk past is stronger than the tidal force of Jupiter. We are not puppets of the distant planets. We are subjects of the sun. It provides the gravity that holds us, the energy that feeds us, and eventually, in about 5 billion years, it will expand and consume us. But even our mighty sun is just a traveler. If you look up at the night sky, the stars look fixed. But that is an illusion of human time. In reality, everything is moving at breakneck speed. The Earth orbits the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. But the sun itself is racing at 500,000 miles per hour, orbiting the center of the Milky Way galaxy. We are caught in a cosmic dance around a monster. At the heart of our galaxy lies Sagittarius, a star, a supermassive black hole for 1 million times the mass of the sun. We don't orbit the black hole directly. We orbit the center of mass of the galaxy, but the black hole anchors that center. This journey is so vast that it takes 250 million years to complete just one orbit. This is called a galactic year. The last time Earth was in this exact spot in the galaxy, humans did not exist. The dinosaurs were just beginning to evolve. The supercontinent Pangaea was starting to break apart. The time before that, the Earth was dealing with the Cambrian explosion when complex life first filled the oceans. We have only been around for a tiny fraction of a single galactic tick. We are fleeting passengers on a spaceship that has been circling the void for eons. But the most mind-bending thing about the universe isn't its size, its relationship with time. They tell you the universe is infinite. We don't actually know if that's true. The universe might go on forever, or it might curve back on itself. But what we do know is that our universe, the part we can interact with, is finite. We live in a bubble called the observable universe. This bubble is defined by the speed of light. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. That sounds fast, but on the scale of the universe, it is agonizingly slow. Because light takes time to travel, you never see the universe as it is right now. You only see it as it was. When you look at the moon, you are seeing it 1.3 seconds ago. When you look at the sun, you are seeing it 8 minutes ago. If the sun vanished right now, we wouldn't know. We would still see it shining, and we would still feel its gravity. For 8 whole minutes before the lights went out and we flew off into the dark. Look deeper. The nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, is 4 light years away. You are seeing it as it was 4 years ago. The Andromeda Galaxy is 2.5 million light years away. The light hitting your eyes tonight left that galaxy before modern humans walked the Earth. You are seeing a ghost. This means that if there is an alien civilization in the Andromeda Galaxy, and they have a telescope powerful enough to see the surface of Earth, they don't see us. They don't see our cities, or our wars, or our lights. They see the African savanna of 2 million years ago. They see our ancestors, primitive hominids, looking up at the sky. We are trapped in a prison of light speed. As we look further out, we look further back. We can see galaxies that are 13 billion light years away, but we see them as they were when they were babies, just forming after the Big Bang. We can never know what they look like now. And what about the structure of it all? Our solar system is part of the Milky Way. The Milky Way is part of a cluster called the Local Group. But zoom out further, you see something terrifyingly beautiful. The universe is not a random scattering of galaxies. It is a web. Gigantic filaments of dark matter and gas stretch across the cosmos, connecting clusters of galaxies like pearls on a string. Between these filaments are the void oceanic regions of empty nothingness. Millions of light years across, where almost no galaxies exist, we are flowing through this web. Our galaxy is being pulled towards a mysterious gravitational anomaly called the Great Attractor, a region of space pulling us and thousands of other galaxies towards it at millions of miles per hour. And the Great Attractor itself is being pulled towards something even bigger, the Shapley supercluster. We are small, and we are young. We live on a cooling rock, orbiting a burning ball of gas, spiraling around a black hole, drifting through a web of dark matter in a universe that is mostly empty space. We look out into this vast, ancient, time-delayed machinery, and we ask the most important question of all. In all this space, in all this time, is there anyone else? Or is the silence of the stars real? Part 2 will explore the terrifying possibility that we really are alone.